Right, please don't play another song.
You're going to be like, you're getting changed.
Okay. Yeah. Ready? So, welcome back to episode 14 of Joga Bonito. Boys, it's a big week of playoff action to come. Fraser, you're sat there in your air shirt. Big smile on your face, looking forward to the games to come, and we're gonna...
I am not, actually.
You're not? Oh,
I don't know.
I'm a bit jealous. I wish Ray Rovers could have made it. Narrowly missed out Friday night. Today's episode, we're gonna look into every single playoff game that's coming up this week. We're gonna give a bit of our expert opinions on them, and Luke's gonna give some opinions.
Yep, that's it.
But where better a place to start with Friday night, final day of championship action, and
Looks at his little brother's Falkirk goalkeeper.
He certainly does. And Luke, you were there on Friday night at the stadium, as you call it.
At the stadium, the stadia.
Look, we'll shut our eyes now. Take us in. Tell us about your evening.
It's just a bit of a nervy evening, to be honest. I would make 1-0 up, and I was thinking, can they do it? And then Ethan Ross, free kicks. They've actually done it.
I did.
Well, I'd put my hand up and say, what's the goalie done?
That is one thing.
It was incredible goalkeeping. No one's seen it from Ian Linus, who decided that he wouldn't move his feet at all when the free kick was taken, and sort of just, what would you call that? Sort of, if you're diving into a swimming pool or something like that, sort of just jump 2-footed.
No, but the thing is, like,
it was bizarre.
For a free kick, I'm not a goalkeeping expert, but you should be kind of in the middle of your goal.
Depends where you're walling, I suppose.
Yeah. But he's like on the way over to the left.
He made it very inviting.
I love it. Ethan Ross just had to change the death out and in the middle. And
Lee Griffiths at Hampden against Joe Hart.
But they were top corner.
Yeah, and they were good.
But they were good. One of them was not even close.
They were good free kicks.
It's kind of incomparable. If you look at Dean Linus's attempt to save that, it was genuinely bizarre. So because I don't think he's the worst keeper. I saw him getting a lot of flack. He had a short spell at Rafe. He was alright. He was decent. Had a bit of pedigree, but that was questionable. Fair credit to Ethan Ross. So if you don't, put it on target, at least you've got no chance of scoring. So he did that. I think most keepers, even one of United 7 goalkeepers, probably if just take a step to the right and probably catch it. It's kind of where it was.
Callum.
Sorry, but. After that, settled themselves down a little bit, did it?
Yeah, I think so. And the fact that then Livy went 1-0 down shortly after that, just kind of settled everyone down a wee bit, and they could hear the relief, I think, the sigh of relief in the stadium. But I think then into the second half, they just changed. I think it was more they needed to hold on, but I think John Glenn was sensible to kind of keep pushing and try and get those decisive goals. But they didn't really go to happen in that Livy games.
Did I have a feeling at all of Hamilton? Difficult for them to put the same amount of effort in, given the week and everything they've had sort of in the build up to that as well. They didn't have anything really on the line for it. You're sort of just there to ruin the party more than anything.
Yeah.
So
I heard John Rankin before the game, and he said it was something like they're still gonna put everything into the game. And to be fair, that first 32 minutes, you could tell that they were played for it. But then as soon as that equaliser went in, and then second half and second went in, I think they were kind of like, oh, that was 4 round again. They kind of just accepted defeat, and then you're like that. And it's a goal go in. So.
And what a brilliant goal that was, Calvin Miller. Sort of the quality he's been showing all season, hasn't he?
He's a great player. I've always rated Calvin, to be fair, he's a great player.
Yeah, I think there was an air of inevitability about it, really. I think even when Scott Robinson scored that goal, I think, commentary were obviously saying, they're here to ruin the party, but I think everyone knew. I know Falkirk had had a tough couple of games before that, but I think it was too big an occasion. There was too much on the line, I think.
I don't know. I feel the nerves would have been jangling a bit. Obviously, I wasn't there watching it, but
did you see the celebration? Did you see Scott Robinson celebrate?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I mean, then you're there for to try and do a professional job. I'm sure Livingston would appreciate it. Certainly when they score that goal. I mean, I was at Hampden, obviously at the Rafe Rovers game, and I tell you, as soon as that Falkirk goal, the Hamilton goal should go in. That's it. Everyone was like, all the whispers being like, Falkirk's losing. This might happen. So but brilliant in the end. And Luke, after that third goal's gone in, sum up the scenes.
Oh, wow, incredible, to be fair. There was obviously the tannoy of the rock pitch and the rain, but luckily, first of all, I can't remember how much was that.
Well, everyone was over the horse.
Yeah,
like
I was
watching
gonna
the clip after.
Everyone was down at the front,
like
ready for it.
Jumped to anything to get on it. They just it was the minute the whistle went. There was about 1,000 fans.
Yeah, but what is any one steward or 100 stewards going to do? There's no way you're stopping that. I think the fans have been waiting for that moment for weeks now, or years.
The ref had like stopped the game like for like not even 10 seconds, I think, and then just said, "There was nothing to do again. Let's just do the short line loads." So.
Like, tell us about the celebrations then.
Were you on the pitch?
Well, someone on the pitch, so.
No.
Of course, tell us what happened.
What happened?
Yeah.
What we thought we'd hear.
In the celebrations, yeah.
And there's clearly a story here that he's never told you about.
I had to go into the dressing room and film after the game, and I met Sean Mackey had like a bottle of Peroni, and you know when you shake a bottle but then you put your thumb on top of it.
Oh yes.
Yeah, he loves it, and he was like properly shushing me with it.
Yeah.
It was true funny.
Was any camera equipment damaged in the process of this?
Was damaged. Thank goodness.
Right, no, the BBC weren't sending any invoices to Sean Mackey.
No, but like it was wild to be fair, but
all the players must have been absolutely loving that as well. Yeah.
I did hear one song in the dressing room.
Just one? Just one?
Just one. But it was one that I had heard.
Luke Maguire,
Oh, okay. It was that one. No, not that one. Not that famous one. It was that's the one you were telling me about earlier on in the week. Beluga.
Oh, aye, the blue. Yeah. The Glen.
Yeah, the Glen. Yeah, and I was like, whoa. I was like, I just heard that. The first time I heard that this week, and I just heard it.
And were they playing it in the stadium?
Yeah.
Aye, that's blown up.
And they were properly.
We shout out to Beluga Lagoon.
They were properly.
Mouthful, but
They were properly bouncing away to that. So
nice.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it was like as a Rangers fan, I would say I think everyone was kind of in agreement. If Falkirk messed up, it would have been really funny. It would be funny.
I would have been wild if they did.
The story is it's kind of what the kind of story you like to see. There's so much built around it. A team of players. I mean, Fraser actually told just before we started shooting as well. It felt like a lot of them had, failed maybe at Championship before, dropped to League One, built a real core community. John McGlynn as well, seeing him, having a beer as well after the game. He was buzzing. So
Actually, what I love about it is that you've got Keelan Adams and Barney Stewart. Barney Stewart was playing for Heriot Watt University up until, was it January?
Yeah.
Now he's a Premiership player. Keelan Adams was playing
communal codes, yeah.
Now you were giving him tips for the Scotland squad a few months back.
Well, I admit that ceiling, honestly, yeah. To be fair,
he's
almost any club in the Premiership should be looking at him. Honestly, I think he's.
To be fair, see when I was on the pitch, and then he was kind of like walking down the tunnel, and he just had somebody go up to him and like wrap his arm around him and be like, "That shot is the next Robo."
It's good. It actually is. I mean, I was going to say it from a neutral point of view. I'm not neutral at all because
you're literally.
But in the last few weeks, I've been neutral with Olivier and Falkirk, and looking at the Olivier and Falkirk team and the kind of stories there, I think I would prefer Falkirk. It's just something a bit different that we've not had in over a decade, and also like John McGlynn football is good.
Yeah, and it's great stories.
It's nice in the eye, and it's like Calvin Miller's he's a good player.
Yeah.
Ethan Ross and the other, it's attacking.
Well, and the Scott Arfield story in there as well. The sentiment of that is really.
See, Wakefield sent him a video as well.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Oh, probably.
That was.
What do you think? How do you think they got that? I reckon that's a cameo.
Oh,
and they've cropped it out perfectly. The video cut off really quickly. They paid her a couple $100 to do that. She's not just gone.
She was like,
she's just not a big Scott Arfield fan.
Oh, no, sure, maybe now, but you see, also Burnley had Natasha Bed.
Yeah.
That was weird.
She was in the change room just like Luke was.
Comparables, that is. Yeah.
And on the pitch, just like Luke was. So,
is that like Burnley like song or something like that? Is that
I think that's. I mean, it's everyone's song. Like David Marshall started it, no?
Yeah. That's,
oh no, wait, no. I'm getting mixed up with what's the Natasha.
Does it feel the rain in your skin? Yeah. It's just a beautiful song. Just
it is.
If I'm distracted too much. I appreciate that song. As the years going on, you listen to it. It's always on when you're out. It's blasting it out. It's just actually a beautiful song. And a Burnley song.
This year I've just heard it more and more.
Yeah, well, I think Burnley had kind of adopted it as their tune throughout the season. So, and then obviously they didn't win the league, but.
Leeds are falling apart again. Yeah. Anyway, so that's enough EFL Championship talk. So Luke, I thought I enjoyed your Friday night.
Yeah, it was just fun. Yeah. It was just I had the wee joke with Fraser was saying before. It was that, like, see if I was coming home, like I'm driving home, and I got pulled over by the police and I started drinking pepperoni. That would have been.
I promise.
I'll
Keep
I'm Sean Macker
on me. Yeah.
Too many San Pellegrinos and pepperoni, and you would have been
Locked up. Yeah. We need a replacement for Luke McGuire on the podcast. Yeah.
Are we post looking for a new?
different Friday nights for us, Callum.
Yeah.
Less exciting.
Ours was
Actually,
very exciting and then very gutting at the end. Like a real buzz at Hampden for the Wraith game. Thinking a win, no matter what, probably would have done it because you didn't see Partick going and not even getting a result because a draw and the win for Wraith would have seen us in the playoffs, in good fashion. And then, even the full Hamilton game being all level, you're thinking in your head, right, Livy are going to push on and have to win this then. Obviously, Partick Thistle pull off a 1-0 result, and Wraith as well. I was saying to you guys before as well that there was a feeling in the air that the players knew that, right, all we can do here is firstly win the game. That was kind of probably where I didn't think we can win this, but there's a real chance we could win this by the 4 goals. We need to win this by to secure a playoff place at Partick, draw, make it Queen's Park do pull a goal back to make it 2-1, then Wraith made it 3-1. Just the boys didn't celebrate at all. Grab the ball back to halfway line, make it 4-1. Nothing. Just keep going. Don't go up to the fans, celebrate anything. Get the ball back, and then 5 minutes left. Aidan Marsh, who's became a bit of a sort of cult hero, sort of with the Wraith fans. A up the Rovers. Gets the ball with a lovely touch, finished bottom corner, and then that's when sort of the celebrations kick off properly. But then I'm pitch side filming as well. There was nothing really going on in the pitch, sort of in a similar way to Hamilton thing we said. Queen's Park were there, and sort of we're just playing our part in this game, and there was a bit of just knocking around at the back.
They were playing was that a 16-year-old?
No, it wasn't that young, but I can't remember. Callum Fraser was on the bench, Zach Rodden was on the bench, they didn't bother using them. But so when that the goal to give the 4-goal margin happened, things calmed down a little bit, and everything I was doing pitch side filming, I was like, there's nothing happening on the pitch. Turn it to the stands just to film everyone on their phones. I've never seen anything like it, heads down watching, and unfortunately it didn't happen. Well, the funny thing, I was checking the score throughout the game. I realised literally as soon as one person finds out if there's a goal, everyone will know in the stands. So I don't need to bother checking.
I thought it was the example.
You had that
past where fans have sort of
done a fake one. A fake time.
So you got
I doubt that would happen. But
had that at Stadium, man.
Oh, did they? Yeah.
We pushed ourselves. They're going to win one on the
team. It was back in maybe 20 years ago when people used to turn up with their Sony Ericsson,
incredible,
CD players or radios, with their earphones, and now it's a wee bit less.
Yeah, but everyone was just stood there watching, so I was like, if one person finds out there's been a goal for Livy, this place is going to erupt. Unfortunately, it didn't come, so Livingston FC are on my list of enemies forever now, for not holding up their end of the bargain and for being terrible and for bottling it. But it's okay, I'm not really upset about it. I think the main thing was for the Rovers, would it be going into playoffs 10 undefeated on the back of a brilliant result? And I would be really confident going into this game, which is going to be Tuesday night, so we'll start off with this one. So we mentioned we're going to have a little look ahead to each playoff game to come, well, sort of, lack of a better term, series. The NBA playoffs are on, so we've been speaking a lot about that. We're trying not to use that terminology too much, but the 2 legs will be coming this week, of course, for all the games apart from the League 2 one. And the place will start off at then be the Partick game. And I think we said as well, we're going to maybe try and determine what the difference maker could be in all of these ties. An X factor, if you like. So, Fraser, you're sitting there. 2 clubs that you're very familiar with, of course. Give us your thoughts, Ali, going into that tie.
It's a weird one. As I was saying to you before, I'm relieved it's Thistle for a number of reasons. I'm just not too far from Firhills. It's an easier commute, it's an easier away day, or it's a home day almost for me. But also, Thistle are kind of... Well, it's kind of weird to say that they're limping into the playoffs off the back of beating
the top 2
champions and Livy in second. But from speaking to some Thistle fans, I don't think they were inspiring in a sort of gritty, against the wall, performance like that, but not inspiring in a sort of attacking sense. So and their form before that was pretty poor, which obviously allowed Wraith to get.
They're not lost a huge amount of games.
Yeah.
There wasn't a huge amount of losses. It was them dropping points like Hamilton at home, and you just didn't see coming at all. But yeah,
the
Airdrie as
patchy form beforehand. Yeah, losing to Airdrie away.
Hamilton at home.
Yeah. So from an Ayr point of view, I was kind of buzzing because we've struggled with, particularly in Kirkcaldy this season, to cope with you guys, and you're coming in at a hot vein of form when Ayr are really not. So I think Thistle's a better option for Ayr. Unfortunately for the neutral, it might. I don't know.
We did say I can see this being quite a
low scorer.
Yeah.
sticky, tough game. Certainly both times last time that I was personally at a game at both the grounds, the pitch wasn't doing great, getting heavy. Luckily the weather's a bit better, so hopefully it'll be looking a bit better then, but it wasn't ideal conditions. That last game when Wraith played Partick was on the BBC and was not highly reviewed, I think, by the viewers. 0-0. I could see it being something similar to that, but
I'm hoping I would be buzzing. See if I go on Tuesday night and I'm walking out with a 0-0.
you take that.
Ayr have lost this season once in the league at Somerset Park, and that was to a 96th minute free kick from Robbie Muirhead. So if Ayr can come away from Firhill on Tuesday night with any kind of even one goal behind or a draw, that would be fantastic. Obviously, if we look back a couple of seasons now, the last time Ayr and Thistle came up against each other in the Premiership playoffs, it did not go well from a United point of view. That must be a record aggregate loss. It was obviously 3-0 at Firhill and then 5-0 at Somerset. So I would take anything better than 3-1. I think I would put Ayr as slight favourites, but would not be surprised if either team.
I feel the way that the seasons have gone, obviously you say Ayr have just kind of came into this one floundering a little bit, but do have the quality in the right areas to make a difference. But I maybe would just give the edge to Partick. I'm not entirely sure. It's going to be a close one. A big loss to Logan Chalmers being out injured, of course. He's sort of been the difference maker so many occasions. But Brian Graham's coming into this one in good goal scoring form as well. And if you're looking at the tight game, I wouldn't be shocked if he's the one to pop up with a goal. And there's no one. There's players that have had really good seasons, of course, for Ayr, and it's if they can sort of turn it on. But it's not easy just to flick the switches at, coming into the playoffs.
Yeah.
It doesn't really work like that. If it was that easy, then,
I think if Scott Brown gets, I think Ayr have better quality, and I think if Scott Brown gets his starting 11 right and his tactics right, I think Ayr
because you
can win comfortably. But the problem with Ayr recently is from game to game, match to match, it's the personnel has been changed.
But what about the individual players you think that should be making the difference in this game?
Well, I think you've got players. If Ayr United line up with the quality in the wide areas that they've got,
so the Jay Hendersons, Jamie
Henderson, Marco Roos, Jamie Murphy to come on later in the game, maybe.
He was and
they were rested. There was a couple of big names rested at the weekend. But if you've got players like if Jay Henderson is given the ball in the wide areas and either Curtis Main or George Oakley is in and around the 6-yard box, Ayr will score goals.
Yeah.
My issue with Ayr is that Scott Brown is recently is like a sort of elected to go 2 up top, and that's okay if it's Jay Henderson and one of either Main or Oakley, but if it's Main and Oakley together, it's kind of 2 of the same.
Yeah.
And they go direct and long, and if you've got big centre halves that Thistle have, and O'Reilly or Macbeth or whatever,
they are solid back there. Yeah,
they'll deal with that
as well
comfortably. But it's Ayr United. Their threat this season has come from the wide areas with Jay Henderson's wicked balls and Marco Roos's balls, and if they can get balls from the touchline onto the head of George Oakley or even players that are running.
Do you think you've seen enough from Curtis Main since he's came in this season? A player with real pedigree.
Yeah.
Could have maybe done a bit more. I think Oakley's probably the main man. I think he's a great strike to have in the Championship, but Curtis Main came in and maybe wanted to see a little bit more. Maybe the playoffs could be the time for him to show that quality he's got.
He's scored some really nice goals. I think he scored a wee back heel at Somerset a few weeks back. Maybe it was against Airdrie. fired one top bins as well. Lovely strike from the edge of the box. So
It's just your way of saying, no, we've seen more than enough from
no,
him.
not more than enough, but we've seen enough. I'm not convinced with him and Oakley. They're they're cut from the same cloth. I think if you get mobile players in behind Curtis Main and feed him, then brilliant. If the same with George Oakley, but having them both, I don't know. I could be wrong.
Well, it's clearly something Scott Brown wanted in that, because Main came in as a direct replacement for Anton Dowds, who is also a player that fits that profile, a big, strong volley striker, and he's been a huge loss, of course. You'd love to have him in this matchup, but sort of for the reason some of the players you mentioned there that I think could really sniff out any of the danger that comes is Macbeth, Lee Ashcroft, Dan O'Reilly back there. That's a big back three they're playing. They've been playing this back three as well. Partick Thistle filling it out. Macbeth second midfield as well, and that's kind of what you saw in the Falkirk game. It was a fight. It was dogged, but the quality up there as well. Brian Graham, if they can stop the goals at one end, you do fancy him to take that chance, and he's probably the one player across the two teams that I'm really convinced by on the big occasion he could step up and do it.
Yeah.
I do think Partick can be left open though. They try to let it back, but with playing that back three, I watched a wee bit of their game on Friday. Well, I pretty much watched the whole game. I watched the whole game on Friday. I was part of my work to cover that game too. And the thing is, like, I never saw Partick threatening at all, and I never saw that they were putting really deep. So I think Ayr do have the edge, in my opinion. I think they can go on and win it. Like, obviously, Partick won it, love you, but I think they're going to go against them, honestly.
Yeah. I think without Logan Chalmers, I think that's
a loss, yeah.
It's a big loss, but I mean, both teams are not coming in brilliant form. Ayr obviously picked up a win away at Airdrie, but that wasn't as too inspiring. So I don't know. It's a tough one to call. I think it will be a draw on Tuesday night.
I don't really like the consistency you've came into it with, like drawing at home to Queen's Park, everything like that. I get there's been eyes on the playoff for so long now, because it's been it's a formality that everyone knew Ayr was going to finish third. It looked like for a long time it's going to be part of this, so I'm sure they're prepared for this. Could be ready for a bit there, but we knew Ayr were going to be one of those teams in there, so they're well prepared for this one. Just giving Partick the edge, basically just on the form really, and I know we've said Partick being a bit patchy, but the fact of the matter is they've came away, and it doesn't matter how they won those games, they beat Falkirk and they beat Livy, and I think that's brilliant for them coming into this one in hot form. I think whoever wins that probably loses to Livy at the end of the day. We'll get to that one. But if I ask you guys for a 1 word or 2 word, whatever, short X factor in this series, in this game, the 2 games coming up, what do you think it's going to be? If you're both saying Air's going to go through,
it's wide areas.
So the sort of the individual players, the quality of that,
individual players, and the good thing about Ayr is that they have 4 or 5 players that can play in those positions. And I think if Jay Henderson, Marco Roos, Jake Hasty even, if they play well, I think it'll be too much for, if they're given the tools by Scott Brown to play well and use the skills that they have.
I just don't see the game being open enough for it. Possibly, I think Partick can step out.
I worry is that Ayr will go route 1 more direct through the middle. But I think if they can, whenever this season Ayr have been effective, Ethan Walker popping up against Falkirk, that came from the wide areas, balls like that, that's where Ayr have been. That's where George Oakley scored most of his goals. Curtis Mains scored a couple of goals in that position.
That's just my worries. From just to finish off on that is what I said is like guys like Lee Ashcroft have made a career out of heading crosses away out of the box. He's made for that. So
that is big. But I mean, the balls I'm saying coming from the wide areas, Nick McAllister put the ball all on the deck, and
if the game does open up a bit, then you could see it like that. So Luke, what's your X factor for this one?
I'm going to say pace.
Who's pace?
Sorry, Air's pace. I think like the two wins, like they should be dangerous. Like we were talking about that Falkirk game. I think they were pretty dangerous getting forward, and those like we talked about what to the nothing to like the pace up and down, the wins that can be dangerous and can cause advantage for a few inches.
Yeah, do you think Air's gonna just very 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 quickly here? Do you think Air will go in the back 3 or back 4?
Back 3.
Yeah, I'm just thinking the wingers in terms of that, and I don't know what Mark McKenzie playing right wing back, and
that's I'm worried if
that's just where I think things get really broken up inside, is where you probably do want your Jay Henderson's getting the ball out wide, taking on players, but he's just been like sort of start through the middle at times. Conor McLennan, central midfield, like, I don't know, I think there's maybe a bit more, what do I know in comparison, of course. I think the difference maker in this one could be Brian Graham, though. So actually, I'll put my name to stamp it down. I'll say the difference maker in this one will be Brian Graham. So I think it's going to be two teams playing back fives. It's going to be tight. It's going to be turgid. And there's going to be a break for the wall in the box. And the player that will finish it off will be Brian Graham in that game. So, yeah.
Interesting.
I'm saying Brian Graham as the player, not the manager as well. That's my X factor in this one. So we'll jump into League One now as well. Well, the Championship playoffs, of course, I kind of always get that mixed up. I don't know if you guys do as well. Is that just me?
I hate how they do that Championship playoffs.
It's like League One teams playing in it. Yeah. It's a battle for one team to stay out of it, and that team's going to be Airdrie, who have somewhat made it into the playoffs. Bit of a sort of formality, I suppose, in a way, with the way that Hamilton obviously got deducted there, 15 points, which from all intents and purposes seems like it was the right decision to make, I suppose, in the end. Yes, going into that, when you do look into the details of what happened with that one, it doesn't sound great for Hamilton. I'm sure we'll probably touch on this in the summer when we've got a bit more of a chance to reflect on things, but do feel for the fans and everything like that. It's a sad situation going on there, but how that opportunity has given Airdrie a chance to stay up.
You say that though, however, Airdrie at one stage a couple of months ago,
15 points wouldn't have done it.
Exactly. So actually,
it has been a bit of a great escape.
Bit of a help, but they've done quite well.
They have turned it around.
Yeah, and I think it's a bit of a false position in the league for Airdrie, obviously, being where they were, being that far behind, certainly. Yeah. I don't think they were nowhere near being the worst team in the league. Nowhere near it. Like,
who do you think were?
No, Queen's Park could be the worst team in the league now.
For sure,
but that's even over the course of the season, the quality they've got, I don't think they at the start of the season, Reece McCabe was talking about the title and everything like that. Yeah. They were nowhere near that good, but I think it was a bit of a false position. They're not a bad team at all.
But the same way that Queen's Park have been absolutely horrendous in recent times, Airdrie were pretty.
Hamilton, Dunfermline, I think Airdrie's as good as them. I don't
You think?
They're, they were 20 points behind Dunfermline, Hamilton, Queen's Park at one point. I don't think they're that much worse than them. They're probably a Morton as well. I don't think there's that much difference between a lot of those teams. So Airdrie will go into this one against Stenhousemuir, who at one point looked like they'd be pretty comfortable making the playoffs, and then have had a bit of a wobble towards the end, but fantastic fashion, claimed a huge result against Dumbarton, 3-1, to make their way into the playoffs. Dumbarton already relegated, of course. Another one where you look at them, they're probably not as bad as the table will look. That point deduction there for Dumbarton, so it wasn't an easy game. Dumbarton have been fighting away as well, despite being relegated for a few weeks. But Stenny got that win.
And they had 10 men for the last 7 minutes, I think.
Yeah, and they battled through that. Probably going into the playoffs, though, in form that isn't the most convincing for them. Luke, did you say you were thinking of possibly going down to this game?
Yeah, possibly.
First leg?
Yeah, if I can manage to do it, then I'll try.
What kit are you going to wear? Your Hearts kit? Your Falkirk kit?
What was it? Yeah, tempted. I think it'll be an interesting game, to be honest. But I think Steady's form has dropped at the end of the wrong time. So they did obviously, as you say, they picked up a good win at the weekend, and I'm hoping that can really give them the boost to take it to the playoffs. But I think Airdrie will be winning this one. You could say the series.
I think definitely it's a difficult one maybe to call who's going to win out of the four, but I think Stenhousemuir or Airdrie. I can see it being quite comfortable for Airdrieonians, but listen, I'd love to see Stenny put up a good fight.
Obviously Stenny sort of riding the wave, weren't they, from comfortably winning League 2 coming up into League 1. Gary Naismith's done an excellent job there, and I mean, if you offered the chance to be in the playoffs at the start of the season, any Stenny fan would have bit your hand off, and I'm sure it's going to be absolutely packed out as well on Tuesday night. The town of, look, you'll know better than me. I don't know where Stenhousemuir starts and Larbert starts and ends.
I've
together. So obviously, I feel like the combined towns of Stenny and Larbert will get behind the team. I don't know if there's a
train station. We'll go there. I would say the train station.
Like that's the end of it. I don't even know, but the two blur together. Anyway, this isn't a geography thing.
On that, I would love to see Stenhousemuir come up.
Oh, that would be
imagine recording a podcast next season here in Stenhousemuir, and then just popping along to see either Ayr or the Rovers play. That'd be phenomenal.
Oh, that would be good. I mean, I play football on Monday night every week. I've been trying to get you along, Fraser. Step aside, right?
I'm saving myself for the big reveal at
a big 5
in June. You don't know whether I'm going to be world class or world rubbish.
World class or world shite. So yeah. Anyway, you are right. If Stenny could do it, I feel like it'd be hilarious because Stenny obviously don't like Full Cook very much, and they'd be chasing them down back to back promotions, still not in the same division. It would be quite funny. But I can't quite see them having the quality to do it. Matty Yates, Aiken up top. They can certainly score goals. They've got a lot of ability in them.
Blair Olsen,
he's someone that I look at for doing the X Factor sort of determining that. I think he's probably the one for Stenny that can have that quality to score a goal. Playoffs literally just last year. We were there. You saw it, Fraser firsthand. Partick, Rafi came on and scored a really good goal in that game. So he can make the difference, have the quality. At the back, you've got what will be a very hard-working team. Led by, Buchanan at the back, so had a bit of a clean sweep for the player awards this year, deservedly so. Great centre-back. Jameson and Galt. There's a lot of just familiarity back there, which could do them well, but overall, I think it's probably the quality of Airdrie that will see them. And I do feel as well if Airdrie get like the first goal, for example, in the midweek game, that could really sort of just burst the bubble a little bit. If Stenny get the first goal, then the crowd will get right on it. Games at Stenny can really be like that at times. The crowd get behind the team and there's a lot of buzz, but if Airdrie get that goal, it might pop the bubble a little bit. And the quality that Airdrie have got, they can keep hold of the ball very nicely. I could see them probably picking up the victory in this one.
They've been very similar to Falkirk by keeping like lots of players that they did have from the season before.
Which is the best way to build a squad, I think, yeah.
The back, like as you say, like the back four's very similar to...
It's like Sam Fisher's came in from Dunfermline as another option in there and stuff, but yeah.
But they've trying to keep this, like, the familiar faces, like, around. Who else have they got? No, obviously you've got, like, Dan Jewison and Gary Buchanan as, like, kind of... I can't remember if their squad is, like, exact, like, their back line is the exact same as it was.
No, so Sam Fisher's came in from Dunfermline on loan, who's a good player for League One as well, of course, so, yeah. But, there's certainly quality in the team, and... As I say, if they can keep it close, get an early goal, whatever Stenny, then they might fancy the chances. But Airdrie, the quality they've got, I'd say maybe for me, I think like the X Factor in this one could be like a Frizzell in midfield. I think he's a really good quality player. He's the one that can probably be the coolest head, in a game like this. And for me, he'd be my sort of pick for the difference maker.
Are we an Esther strong part?
Maybe not quite, but
I think I have to agree with that. He is a quality player, and probably a wee bit unfair on him that he's been fighting away down at in 10th, 9th place this season.
Well, if you want someone that can get their foot on the ball as well in a game like this, he's perfectly that kind of player. Just take a bit of pressure off his teammates, because I can see it being quite frantic. So, yeah.
Reece Cabe as well, could he be the X Factor?
I don't think so. No. Maybe his management skills.
I had a shout for it. Chris Mortry.
Yeah, he's been good this season as well. He's got quality. There's not been like a huge amount of names in the Airdrie teams. Ben Wilson scored quite a few early in the season, but he's not even been in the starting lineup as it's gone on. Diax came in on loan from Partick, showing quality as well. So a good squad overall. Like Low Strab was someone that they added in January. When you looked at sort of the names they added in January, you were like, there's some decent quality in there. So yeah, I think Frizzell midfield's the one that can really settle things down, calm it down, and probably see Airdrie get through this one. But full credit to Stenny, I'm sure they'll be really proud come the end of it, no matter what happens, and going kind of nothing to lose, I think, at the end of the day, Stenny. So one to look forward to there. And then the other tie that's going to be for the championship playoffs is going to be Queen of the South against Cove Rangers. Cove Rangers this season have been the side putting a bit of pressure on towards the top, but sort of come into the playoffs in another bit. It's been a sort of season, I think, for Cove of average runs, really good runs, average runs, and maybe coming in not the top form, but still fancy the chances in that one.
This has still been a taste of it.
This is going to be... I would like to watch this one.
There's going to be a fair bit of travelling for this one.
Yeah.
Trip to Aberdeen?
Not the furthest journey of the playoffs, so we'll come to that.
Have you tracked the miles for this, or no?
Cove to... I suppose actually Cove to Palmerston's quite far.
That's pretty far, yeah.
Annan to Elgin's got to be further.
Yeah, I think so. It doesn't get further than that, really, does it?
But no, this... I wouldn't be going to this game, but I would really enjoy going to this match. I think Cove Rangers, Queen of South coming in red hot form, not lukewarm.
Yep, they've come into the right time.
And Cove Rangers, one of the highest scoring teams, I think, if not the highest scorers in the league. So that should be, I would imagine, a pretty tasty.
When you're looking at sort of X Factor players throughout this, I think most of them belong to Cove Rangers. They've obviously had this, as we mentioned, how important it is, a core flag. Have you got the mileage here?
I do, yes. That is 208 miles.
Wow. Okay, so the players are going to be racking up a good bit of 400 miles travel for this one. So that'll be, certainly good for the coach companies down that way. But
a wee 6 hour round trip.
Not good for Mother Earth, but
but I think Cove have the players I look at. The Mitch Megginsons of the world, Connor Scully's, Fraser Fifey's, all players that can pop the ball around.
Ainsley as well.
Yeah.
He's been in good form.
All players that are just classy, can really pop it about. And if Cove were in really good form coming into this one, I wouldn't really hesitate too much to say Cove. However, my tip is just going to be Queen of the South. My X factor difference maker in this one is probably Queen of the South's home form this season, which is arguably, I haven't got the numbers in front of me, but having seen that, has been a really difficult place. And they went a long time really without getting away results. But I think the quality they do have at home, that first leg being first, is they might look to sort of take a lead up to Aberdeen and have every chance of seeing it out if they do, because I think going into that second leg, for what is a really nice even matchup, if you go into it the lead, I don't know what you guys are like. I'd personally prefer the second leg to be at home.
Yeah, aye.
Usually.
Yeah.
You would, yeah.
Usually, but I think for this one, because it's such a tight, close game, that if they can go up north with a lead intact and have something to defend and see through, then they've got every chance. But this one could be a really even game. I certainly expect it will be.
Yeah, I think there'll be goals as well.
Yeah.
Even, but yeah, a lot of goals to be coming in this match. So just looking, Fraser Bryden as well, actually, on loan from Ayr United. So
yeah, well, Peter Murphy's done a solid job. You know, I think it's fair to say at Queen of the South, maybe didn't hit the ground running if they thought they could be part of that sort of title pack, but have slowly but surely built their way up the table and comfortably got in the playoffs and have every chance in this one. So who are you boys backing for this?
I'm going to say just Queen of the South.
Interesting. I might go Cove, I think.
I can see either way. It's going to be a close one. So
They have.
I said Queen of the South, I think. Just their home form, I fancy them to pick up a win at home and then take it up there and defend it. But honestly, any outcome could happen in this one, as it should be a very tasty affair.
Exactly. And Callum, who do you think's either staying up or going up?
We'll get to that when we get to that.
Oh yeah.
We did our predictions, me and Luke, way back, early predictions for these games. But I think just looking ahead to this week, we'll get onto that one soon. But yeah, it should be. I think that's a really decent pack of 4 teams.
Yeah.
And see what happens there. But getting into League One then will be teams from League Two, of course, trying to get through the playoffs into the League One playoffs. And we've got some really entertaining ones to go up in this one. And I think we start with Edinburgh East Fife, which should be a cracking game as well.
Yeah.
What are you guys' thoughts on it?
Potentially Edinburgh, actually. East Fife have just been a little bit hot and cold of late. I know they probably they'll be very disappointed that they've not gone up
the title
automatically this season, because I think they were in the driving seat for a lot of the season so far. But I don't know. There's something about Edinburgh City. They've got a high ceiling, I think.
Yeah.
If they play well, they could stroll it and win 3 or 4. But equally, then you've got Alan Troughton at East Fife and Nathan Austin and stuff that been around the block and know what they're doing in these scenarios. So I don't know. Again, this is a tight one, but might just give it to Edinburgh City in there.
Well, the last time these two sides faced off was a game in Edinburgh, and City did come out with a very impressive 5-2 victory in that one, which almost closed the gap down a little bit for things at the top of the table. And East Fife obviously lost out on the title to Peterhead a couple of weeks back. So it was a 5-2 win for Edinburgh last time they did face off, which could bode well. Michael McAdoo's got his team playing a really impressive brand of football this year. I think that's probably the main takeaway, that for the teams in League Two, they maybe play the most entertaining brand of football. So that could do them well against Dick Campbell's East Fife. And you kind of know what you're going to get from a Dick Campbell team at the end of the day, don't you, as well? So, Luke, what are your thoughts for this one as well?
I think after East, because I had the East Fife favourites to
win the league
a
few weeks ago, yeah.
But I think it's always hard. Like we talked about this when we were predicting, and I think it's hard going into the playoffs and you've just lost the title, and you need just to try to get that wee push just to push yourself over the line. So I'm really probably go with Edinburgh, just due to that kind of lacking confidence because they've just lost the title.
Yeah, I was thinking that when we spoke about this a few weeks ago, I did give the edge to Edinburgh. That was on my early prediction. But coming up to it now, I might have a little change of heart. I think I'm going to say East Fife to get through this one, and I think the reason I'm going for that, this could go either way. And as we say, if you get another result like that 5-2 last time they faced off, that could be the tie effectively done and over. But the quality that they do have, East Fife, of course, Alan Charlton winning PFA League 2 Player of the Year, he could be, for me, the X factor in this, but Nathan Austin up there as well. There's tons of quality in that team, Mackenzie. So I think the experience they've got, Brian Easton at the back, Dick Campbell will be very used to these sort of scenarios.
McKenna on midfield.
McKenna, sorry, yeah. McKenna, sorry, of course, McKenna. I think that quality could be the difference in this one, and experience, whilst Edinburgh City being in the playoffs is a really good achievement. People probably didn't see coming like just a few weeks into the season when they were struggling down towards bottom, but more than deserve to be there. A brilliant sort of campaign for them. Maybe not quite as much like a Stenhousemuir, as we previously said. Haven't got much to lose going into, I don't think, personally. So maybe pressure's off them. They could pull it off, but I'm just going to give East Fife with the experience they've got. Just a slight nod, but not much in it. So
I like your count.
Yeah, my X factor in this one probably is that experience, though, that they have in bags, especially in attack. Alan Charlton could definitely be sort of the difference maker in this one, in my opinion. So cool. And one more to come in this one will be another long trip. How many miles have we got for this one, Luke?
We've got 256 or 258, depending on what route you take. Well,
depending on traffic.
Yeah, we'll go from the 258.
From
Elgin City Football Club all the way down to Annan.
Yes, so Annan obviously trying to remain in League One, whilst Elgin finished fourth in the division quite comfortably in the end. Stirling Albion not having too much of catching up to them in that one. What are your guys' early thoughts for this one?
I think Annan, personally.
Yeah.
I think Elgin, I mean, we saw Dijon Golding's worldy of a goal.
But if he can pull that off again, then they've got every chance.
Yeah. If he can, then definitely he's clearly got quality. But Annan, they've pulled up off some big wins actually in League One against better opposition than
yeah.
And I think they
it's a tough, such an even division. I think that's the thing about League One, isn't it? So
so I think Elgin they've been hot and cold, and I think Annan coming up against teams like Inverness and Arbroath and teams that they've actually contested quite well against will stand them in good stead to come up against a difficult Elgin City. But I think Annan I think they'll benefit from their experience in League One this season. And there's been a few games I'm sure that they score goals.
Yeah,
they concede a lot, but they can score goals, and so I think they've got some good quality players in their team, experienced heads as well. So I just think on this occasion, Elgin they've blown a bit hot and cold this season. Coming in as the fourth team in League Two, I just think Annan have.
I think League Two has had three really good teams in it, and then there's been just a bit of a fourth has comfortably been Elgin's in the same way, but they've not really been looking to put pressure on above as well. Stirling looked like they could catch up, but yeah, I think they're probably the weakest team in my personal opinion in this, which is more the strength of the other clubs in there. But
there was a time earlier in the season, not too long ago, that Elgin actually were. I think they were maybe first or the second place state, and they looked like they pushed on. Yeah, they could. But
that was an incredible run though, where they couldn't buy a win or even a draw, where they had a huge run of losses. And luckily for them, they've probably come into the playoffs now where they've steadied the ship a little bit, got back to just sort of. Sometimes I think it's just the basics you need to get right when you've lost 6 or 7 in a row. And they've came in, and picked up a great result against Peterhead, I believe, as well recently, even though they'd won the league probably on the holidays there. But maybe gives them a bit more hope for this one. But I'm also going to give the edge to Annan in this. You've touched on it, the experience they've got. Wally Gibsons of the world. It's kind of the perfect player you want in a tie like this. You've got Tommy Muir, which is my favourite brand of player, centre-back / striker. You know Tommy Muir?
Yeah, he's scored quite a few.
It's brilliant.
He scored a few against Falkirk, actually. And
yeah,
good one.
I mean, if you're a centre-back / striker, I think that's the best mould of player. So, brilliant. So,
Harry Maguire-esque.
Yeah.
8 of 5.
But you have 5s.
I saw you. I've seen him play sevens. You're more of a floater.
Yeah.
floater.
Oh, one of them.
Yeah, he was a floater. He was floating around the place.
Yeah.
No responsibilities. No. If you want the ball, you'll have the ball. But if you don't worry. One of them.
He'll hide on the wing. He'll hide on the wing. I won't see him for a while. In the shadows.
Yeah, and Callum's.
Thank you. Well, we were on the same team when we played, but yeah. So I wasn't trying to show you off or anything, pal. You know, he scored the goal. He scored. I mean, the one time we played football together.
Some say he's a goal-scoring centre back.
But yeah, I agree. I think the quality experience that Annan have got as a League One team playing in a really competitive League One, my difference maker in this one's probably Tommy Goss as well. He's a really good goal scorer at that level. So yeah, I think he could be the difference in this one.
Fun.
And I think overall Annan's quality will prevail in this one. But Elgin, every chance as well, as I say, coming into it on the back of a few decent results might give them a shot.
Yeah, for sure.
So you guys sort of in agreement on that?
I think Annan.
And we'll quickly round this one off just by looking at our last tie as well, which is going to be the League Two playoff, which is once again going to be East Kilbride. They should probably call this the East Kilbride playoff at this point, as they love this League Two playoff. I suppose they don't love it, as they've lost out on it on quite a few occasions now. I think this is their 5th attempt. They come in after picking up a very convincing victory against Brora Rangers in the Lowland League v Highland League playoff.
Looked quite an interesting new one. Is it Saturday?
Yeah, it was,
Yeah.
But the first leg being 4-1 sort of gave them that real nice cushion to go into that one. And Mick Kennedy, his team have got the quality. Of course they do. But it's going to be tough against Bonnyrigg, who came very close to pulling off what would have been a great escape towards the end of the season. But Forfar did their own great escape, sort of inadvert, and sort of another way around from where they were a few months ago. Under Jim, where have been really good, and I'm sure they'll look to have higher ambitions for next season. Forfar, but Bonnyrigg, this does look like it's going to be a tough game for them.
Yeah, I think I can actually see East Kilbride do it. I did say that. Didn't I?
Yeah, you did say that.
I was just trying to.
That was bold of you. Look.
I was trying to remember, but I can't see East Kilbride.
Yeah, I think I would. I'd stick some money on East Kilbride in this tie. I think they're coming in with momentum, and surely at some point they knock down that wall enough times. Surely it will actually.
Yeah.
Surely they'll do it.
I'm gonna come in and disagree slightly. Again, this seems to be a common theme. I think Bonnyrigg, this is gonna suit them quite well in terms of making a bit of an ugly game and a bit of a scrap. I've said East Kilbride have struggled a little bit when they came up against teams that don't let them just play their football, knock it around, and certainly for the second leg, my probably concern is with Bonnyrigg is that they could go to East Kilbride and lose heavily in the first game. But whilst the game at Bonnyrigg, you know what the pitch is like, you know what the surface is like, it's not really going to be conducive to a really high quality level of football that Mick Kennedy likes his team to play. So far, you know, the right way of playing, knocking it around. But they've certainly got on paper the higher quality players, but that doesn't mean that Bonnyrigg don't as well. They've certainly got quality in and around their team. So like Aaron Arnott picking up a late winner recently as well. He's a good player in midfield that I remember seeing at Rayford. I was thinking he had the ability to sort of kick on. Probably not a bottom of League Two player in my opinion. So they've got players in there that can win them the game, but East Kilbride have more match winners. I think that's it. But
serial winners, you should say.
Well, I suppose they won. They want to treble this season, so and I think the main point being is they very much deserve the opportunity to be promoted. They should be promoted. It's what the Lowland League needs, in my opinion, as well. We spoke about that in a bit more detail, but I can see Bonnyrigg really making this a tough physical tie, which maybe will make it difficult for East Kilbride. It'll be interesting to see how two styles of football maybe come up against each other in this one. Perhaps just, I'm not saying anything's wrong with Bonnyrigg's play style in any way, shape, or form. I'm just saying 100% the attributes that East Kilbride will come into this game with and attack it with. But like Jack, you should read Mimnor in midfield of players. We've mentioned Darragh O'Connor as well in attack, of course, for East Kilbride, Nathan Flanagan, John Robertson. They're all players that should be playing at a high level, really.
Been there, done that kind of level before. Yeah.
But I think this is going to make it tough for them. But if East Kilbride did go up, I wouldn't be then shocked to see them go absolutely tonto again with the money, chuck it at League Two, probably try and win League Two as well. But it's this step up here, which is the really most difficult promotion to get. So it's going to be a tough tie either way. But the home tie being at K Park, you could possibly see East Kilbride notching up a few goals if things do go right for them. But overall, I think it'll be a tight tie. And I'm just going to give Bonnyrigg the edge on, I think, their sort of defensive play, and that X factor for me is going to be possibly that second tie just being really tight, really difficult. And if it's close towards the end, I think Bonnyrigg might have to fight to see it through.
Interesting. I'm going to nail my colours to the mast here and go at T-Scope Ride, I think.
Yeah, I agree with Fraser with that.
I don't want to see a club relegated, especially someone like Bonnyrigg as well. All the community stuff they do, and points deductions obviously made it difficult for them this season. And East Kilbride, say what you want, how they've approached it with the money as well. But I think the best for the Lowland Leagues for them to get promoted. So I'm kind of hoping they do end up doing it just to open up that division a bit more to everyone else. They've kind of just got a lock in the door over that first place because they'll just spend the money they need to do it. So I'd like to see them go into League Two and actually have to follow real transfer rules for the first time ever, where they can't just swap off their squad with Gokhan whenever they fancy. So anyway, that's enough on that. I think that's every playoff game for the SPFL, certainly. Some big ones as well in the leagues below. Clydebank, Musselburgh, that's huge.
About that.
Yeah. Two really, really good teams. And if I had a bit more time, I'd touch on them. But we can maybe review them sort of going on
as they happen
as well. But for the SPFL, a big week ahead. Tuesday night's games, tonight's games. This will come out on Tuesday. So tonight's games and then the games on Saturday. Looking forward to them all. So best of luck to us.
Friday night game as well.
Oh, Friday night. Of course, best of luck, Fraser.
Thanks very much.
Looking forward to that.
We'll need it.
You've not sang any songs for us recently.
It's time to play the game.
It is time to play the game. And to start us off...
You're such a player, look.
My dreams.
First up, Fraser, do you want to give us your challenge you've got lined up?
Absolutely bloody love it.
I would love that as well.
I'm quite excited about this one, but I don't know, maybe one of the rounds has been slightly tampered with.
Looky?
Yeah, a little bit.
Has
of
it been a
looky?
looky?
I've seen a little bit of looky going on, but maybe we could. We'll just include it anyway and see if Luke is honest.
Looky.
Or whether it's no, I'm only joking. The reason I'm upset about this one is I thought it was a really good one.
That's right. Well, load up. Get it ready. Get it up.
Let's get it going. So, this
This
is the Wikipedia challenge, SPFL style.
Whoa.
Career paths.
Career path. I'm going to show you career path.
Have you sent it to Luke?
I've sent them all to Luke.
You're going to have to open up your computer, Luke.
Have I sent them
Luke's
all to
prop. People watch this podcast, they've never seen Luke do a single thing apart from look up the distance from Annan to Elgin. And this computer now is going big time.
Well, actually, I'm unfamiliar with using WhatsApp on... Right, okay, so there's a couple... I've got 7.
People will see this on screen, but Fraser, we'll give a bit of a... If you could read some of them out just for the audio listeners.
Okay, so...
Well, wait,
first
get to see it?
No, I'm not going to show you yet. I'm going to show you, and then first one to chime in.
Will you give us a nice introduction to it?
I'll give you a nice introduction, so...
Did they just have a visitor in the room?
Not an audience.
Yeah,
Fraser.
He could have played along as well.
Fraser cannot,
We should have had a nutrient testing.
Fraser cannot perform with an audience.
No, absolutely not.
To tremble under pressure.
Oh, yes,
he does.
Absolutely. You joking? I'm like Falkirk in the run into the championship.
Well,
Fire!
I joke. Okay, so how shall I introduce this?
I guess the career path based off their Wikipedia profile.
SPFL career path with Callum and Luke. That's
Kind
very good.
of work. Just to work out the player's path. I love that people get to watch all this. See how amateurish we are. I'm not going to edit all this out, am I? No, I've not got that much time.
Hi, Mum.
So, gents, I would like you to guess a career path based on the Wikipedia page for SPFL players.
Okay.
I'm looking at this and I think I've drawn it already.
Well,
I've not even been able to look at it. Right.
No, but
show
I know
me.
that answer.
Can I see as well?
Callum versus Luke. I'll show
Is it a
you.
versus?
First one to jump. Well, I was going to do it versus, yeah. But
we'll do it versus, yeah.
This man's looked at one, actually.
Stop staring his eyes. You're not even pretending. Can I see, please? This is so unfair. Luke's getting to look.
Maybe
I can't see.
I'm thinking now maybe I should have cut out the last option, but anyway, I'm gonna. So first up,
why are you hiding it?
Yeah, why are you hiding it?
Luke's read the whole thing.
because I'm not pressed go in my game yet in my head.
Okay. Right.
So are you ready?
I'm very ready.
Yeah.
From your memory. Round 1. Go.
Buzz, Alex Gordich.
You could have kidded
Is it
on.
actual? Is it actual?
Callum?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a draw. You're both correct.
Oh, for flip's sake, no way.
I didn't get to see it.
When was the last time you saw Alex Gordich in the flesh, Callum? Do you remember?
Oh, we saw him sitting in front of us at the Old Firm final.
Yeah, and the Rangers end.
Oh dear.
I don't know. That was quite. Him and his son were there for the Adamida final.
Slightly odd. Slightly
Yeah, I mean,
slightly odd.
Fair play. I don't know whether he was supporting. We also saw Fabio Silva's entourage.
His more Portuguese gang.
I assume they're Portuguese. They may not
girlfriends,
be,
siblings are all there, matching tops.
Yeah, we don't
having to listen to the shouting from some random Rangers fans.
Yeah, there was one. Was there not one sort of drunk Rangers fan that was up chatting them up? I don't know whether he was chatting them up or just saying
it looked like he was chatting up.
He was just doing obrigada for coming.
It looked like he was going over to chat up these 4 attractive Portuguese women, some drunk Rangers fan.
I
love your son.
Even though he misses sitters every time.
So the group after there was Hamilton, Hibs, St Mirren, loan, St Mirren permanent, Alex Gogic. Audio listeners wouldn't have had the chance to hear that. Luke jumped in quicker than anything.
Sorry.
Callum did
really
say, the other little giveaway, the youth career was Olympiacos and Swansea City. Who would have thought?
Not bad, eh? Right, move on. And do you want to read out the teams for Luke? Stop looking, Luke.
Yeah, look. Come on,
I can literally
son.
see your eyes.
Honestly, this is a fantastic segment that you're just ruining.
Right. Read it out.
This one...
He's looking. I can see your eyes.
This one's going to take a while. So round 2.
Look at Fraser.
It's one each. It's one each between you two.
Okay.
So, there's about 20 clubs in this list. So, are you ready?
Okay.
Look, I'm going to ask
This
you
might
to do
not-
that. Otherwise, I'm going to ban you from playing this game.
I'm not looking. I'm listening at you.
Off-putting. This is very off-putting.
I feel bad. I feel bad for like school teachers now dealing with Luke.
Sorry, right? But I'm like not allowed to look at the screen, and I'm not allowed to look at you.
Just
What?
avert your eyes.
Well, because I knew you were looking at the.
Callum, what's happening? Son?
Just look straight ahead.
Okay, so
Is there like 20 clubs in this one?
There are,
Maybe
yeah.
don't read it out then.
I can maybe read out a couple.
Now my
of
laptop's
Okay.
just switched off. Because
No, it's not. I've turned the brightness down.
Oh, right.
So this person started their career at Hamilton Academical in 2011, then went to West Ham United, making a grand total of 0 appearances. Then played Southend United, Blackburn Rovers, Motherwell, Kilmarnock, Morecambe, Partick Thistle, Queen of the South, and is now currently at the Ackies.
Is this the career of Tony Gallagher?
It is not.
Oh, not Tony Gallagher. That's the wrong left
You're
back.
on the right lines though.
Stephen Hendry. Sorry, I've said the wrong Hamilton left back.
That's correct. There you go. Good shout.
That was the wrong. I knew it was a Hamilton left back.
For audio listeners, he has also had an international career playing for Scotland under 17s, under 19s, under 20s, and under 21s.
Exactly. Well done. So that's Callum's gone 2-1 up.
Well done, Callum.
Well done. Right, we'll get the third one up. This is. I'll just show you it straight away.
Okay.
Livingston, Sheffield United, Fleetwood Town, St Johnstone, Carlisle United, and currently at Alloa Athletic.
So been at Alloa for a few years now.
He's also represented Scotland under 21s.
If you're familiar with the Scotland under 21 team from 2012 to 2014, on 2 occasions, I'm very proud of you.
This is a good player. He's played at a high level.
Sheffield United. Yeah, that's
at
a
a
lot of
very high
appearances
level.
there.
For 3 years as well.
I'm not sure why I'm not getting this. Right, Fraser, could you give us a hint on position on this one?
Midfielder. Classy little midfielder.
This is in the career of John Fleck, is it?
I know, I thought that
I've
was
not seen him play for Alloa.
I thought that was Sheffield United, but... Is he Scottish?
Scottish.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Oh, interesting name.
Stefan Skugel.
Bang on the money.
Is it?
Oh,
Okay.
is it? Okay.
I literally just got off that nice name. That was a good hint. I didn't actually know he had quite that career. Good player.
Yeah, no.
He's been at Alloa for a long
Sheffield
time now.
United and
I never realised they had been at Alloa for that long, to be fair.
right, I've
Yeah.
got your eyes again. Look, so that's Callum's 3-1 up here. Look, you need to up your game a bit.
I saw him have a little glance. I'm watching Luke.
Who is this? Okay, I've got this. Right, I haven't noted them down. I just need
We
to
look.
remember who I searched. Okay, so next up, this player has played for a host of Scottish clubs: Stirling Albion, Hamilton Academical, Greenock, Morton, Dumbarton, Ayr United, and Alloa Athletic.
Retired now. A few years retired.
Yeah.
I've cut out a very key part.
Is them not? Are they not retired?
No, they're retired.
Oh, they are retired.
they're
Right.
retired.
But I cut out a very key part that would have given you the
How have you cut it out?
well, I'll tell you, because if I tell you...
I thought you would
I'll have to tell you.
I thought you meant like
Yeah.
you've not like scribbled anything.
No,
else.
I've cropped it.
Okay,
So,
but there's not another team below that.
No.
Okay, I was going to say that'd be a bit unfair, right? So Alloa to finish off their career for a long time. Not much of a goal scorer. Better not be a striker after I've said that. Ooh,
That Tadrick boy.
no, he's still playing.
Has he?
Yeah, brilliant career.
Not really played up in Alloa.
Oh, I know who this is. It's Andy Graham.
Did you get anything to say?
He's like, no, it's not Andy Graham actually. It's someone with an identical career.
Bang on the money. I had to cut out his managerial
Yes, that would
career.
give it away.
Where's he managing?
Alloa.
Oh, is he managing Alloa? Alright.
To be fair, I wouldn't have associated him too much with Man United until you banged on about him. So yeah, Alloa, of course. Nice. Yeah.
Well, he's got 2 goals for United in his 25 matches. That wouldn't include his winning penalty against Stranraer.
Has he mentioned this?
You could make that 3 though.
Is this your catchphrase, Luke?
Pardon?
For flip's sake. You say that? Is that a thing? Yeah.
Okay, this is actually.
Oh, for flip's sake.
We've done 4, haven't we?
Oh, for flip's sake.
Did I not send you 2 more? I did send you 2 more. Are you connected to your own Wi-Fi, Luke?
Yes, I am.
Oh, wait, actually, hold on.
It's got +4. Just click the button to the right. Yeah.
There we go. Technology. Okay, so
that on the laptop over there.
This is difficult. You guys, football only started for you guys in 2014, was it? So this might be tricky. But this player retired in 2012, had a great career with Scotland, and he's played at teams like Dundee United, West Ham United, Rangers, and finished his career pitifully, actually, Portsmouth and Southend, with a grand total of 4 appearances in those 2.
So quite a lot of clubs in him, most notably Dundee United to start it off, and then West Ham. Who is someone played for West Ham as a Scotland international?
Transfer position, please.
Not yet.
Sorry.
Because I think Callum could work this out without any prompts. But I will give you
67 appearances for Scotland is huge.
No, sorry.
So I feel like I should definitely be getting it.
Been playing long before I was born, very long before you were born.
Ooh, this should be gettable.
It is gettable.
So many Scotland appearances.
So I thought he was retired now, obviously.
Yes.
You're looking at his Wikipedia profile.
He's had a little 13-year.
Luke's not sure if it's 2012 or not still. This is
New York.
Oh, this is so frustrating.
He's quite iconic with the Scotland.
Well, he must be 67 appearances.
The Tartan Army.
Yeah, 67 appearances.
I don't know whether to give you this hint or not.
Go on then.
He's got a very popular chant about him from the Tartan Army. I've been whistling the tune all day. I've been trying to stop myself from saying the lyrics because I would have given it away. But I have been singing the song.
97, so...
I can give you the position.
Might do, yeah.
He's a defensive-minded player.
Defensive-minded. Oh my
Centre
god.
back. That's a bit of a giveaway, I suppose.
David Weir?
No. Do you see Everton on that list? Look.
Centre back's been on.
But I can't think of a player that's right, that's one.
Curly hair.
Who do you like shag your wife? Is that the song? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, God. I'm trying to think of the...
He's got the song, but not the player. Curly hair. Played for Rangers.
Oh, my word.
So again, the Scotland centre back would have been 98. Like.
Oh.
So it would have been like...
You are the love of
next to Callum Hendry at the back. Yeah. Oh, you might just put me on my misery here, Fraser. This is embarrassing.
Yeah, go on, Fraser.
Oh, Christian Daly.
Oh, Christian
you
Daly.
are the love of my life.
I would never have
Is that too...
No, I just put it.
No, I could have got that. I was just drawing a blank.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. That is fair enough. Oh, yeah.
That is embarrassing.
I've still not worked out who this
Fraser, our resident boomer.
Okay, this one is up to date. I've taken out his current team. But I reckon this is gettable. Some very interesting clubs in here.
Hemel Hempstead Town,
an absolute stalwart for them.
Chelmsford. And he's only ever scored 1 goal.
He's crossed the Ayrshire divide, which is
wow.
That's poor.
Pretty poor, actually.
Republic of Ireland Youth International.
Yeah.
Oh, I know who it is. I think I know who it is.
Fire away.
Oh. No, I do know who it is. Is he a centre half?
He is.
What's his name? No, but I do.
Do you know what club he's currently at?
No, but I can picture what player.
There's a huge hint in that list of what club he's currently at.
I'm sure hasn't he signed for Kilmarnock permanently?
He has.
I know it, man. Oh, mate, I can absolutely picture.
Good player.
Yeah, I know.
Good player.
And Dalba?
He snatched it from under you.
I'm over here thinking, Luke's making weird noises, yeah.
Did you know?
I didn't. If I saw a picture of him, I'd know who it was.
Yeah. Corey and Daba. That's an interesting career path. Ipswich Town to.
I kind of forgot
Somerset
he was
Park.
at Ayr. I kind of forgot that in my head.
I remember because I remember that legit. I don't do. Yeah.
I know it wasn't an iconic spell at Ayr, but he was.
Well, I know that if Fraser's identifying a player as being good, he's probably heard of them before, which probably means they play for Ayr United. So
No, I didn't think he was brilliant at Ayr, but I saw him.
He's been decent
in the
at
Scottish
Cove,
Cup
He's been decent,
earlier this season at Celtic Park, and he was phenomenal.
Right. Oh yeah.
He was brilliant. He was. I think he's the reason actually Kilmarnock kind of came back into that game. He was everywhere in the first half.
Oh yeah, it was a 1-0 draw.
He was really good. He was sort of playing centre, defensive midfield, playing. Yeah, good player. Anyway,
move on.
Okay. This one, look, keep your mouth shut because.
Oh yeah.
You looky at this.
What, does he know this one?
He saw this one on my Google search.
Nah, yeah.
Right, do you want to read out?
That was my fault.
Do you want to
Yeah,
read out the teams?
This guy, so his youth career was Aston Villa, but he then moved to the Modbury Jets, which I assume that's Australia. I don't know. Then went to Adelaide United, NPL, Adelaide United, Maccabi Haifa, then St Mirren, and he's currently somewhere else. I'm not going to say.
I would have probably like actually.
I think you could.
I would have got it, but.
Did you see the name?
Yeah.
Oh,
Annoyingly.
well, he's surely Australian, right?
Yep.
I don't think he was born in Australia, but he
yeah,
plays for
he
Australia.
represents Australia.
I've cut. That's not in the. Plays for Australia.
He's moved on from St Mirren, and is he the? You've not kept international appearances in there. Is it the? I can't remember his name. There's a beginning B. Is his last name? Does it not? Oh,
You're thinking of Behich?
no. Is he like? Is it like a centre mid or?
Currently plays in the Scottish Premiership.
Oh, he still plays in the Premiership.
Yeah.
Interesting then. Another.
Good player. Not so much.
Should I say he's injury prone?
You can say that if you'd like.
He's a bit injury prone.
Is he at Hibs?
No.
No.
Similar ilk.
Hearts.
No, I don't know why I said that, but similar half of the table.
The top half of the table. Does he play for Aberdeen?
But Hearts aren't on the top half of the table.
No, they are not.
Who else could he play for then?
Potential Premiership playoff.
What, so is it a Dundee United player?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Somewhere here.
We're moving slowly, very slowly. A Dundee United player.
Are you saying he's injury prone? Was that the hint? Oh, that's smart. Is he actually injury prone?
Yeah, he is, yeah.
Oh, right. I thought that was a smart.
No, he is injury prone.
Any injury in particular?
No, but he's got injured quite. That's why he's made so minimum appearances for the team that he's at. And he did have quite a few injuries at St Mirren, according to my mate.
He seems to have played a lot of games.
He's so injury prone. He's named after one.
Oh, that's pretty good. I
thought that's what you were getting on.
Knee. I'm you guys are giving me too many hints here. Tell me who it is.
Ryan Strain.
Ryan Strain.
I've got a calf.
Ryan Strain.
So there you go. That is a unique career path.
I've not watched as much as I used to. So I don't watch Premiership like week in week out. Like I kind of used to. I think that's probably why I'm against.
I thought the fans might quite like this one. Like
they'll love it.
Dundee United fans, St Mirren fans.
Ryan Strain.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Look at that for a career path.
We got another one to come.
No, that's
awesome. Fraser, good challenge there.
I think Callum, I make that 4-1 to you. Although look where they got that.
Yeah, I would have.
So we'll give 4-2. 4-2 Callum.
We'll move on. Next challenge, you guys are going to have another tic-tac-toe to come.
Come on, let's go.
Phenomenal.
Right.
The
tic-tac-toe board is coming across. Who's going first?
Was there
Probably me.
work percentage?
No, probably me.
Why have you just decided that?
Alpha first. No?
What us?
Just do it.
No, what group says?
Yeah, let's go.
Fraser's used to
3,
finishing
2,
first.
1, shoot.
Oh, sorry, I'm glad you didn't hear that.
I heard it.
I said shoot.
No. That's not what I said.
I'll tell you when I'll be finishing first. At Salmon's Pizzeria charity football tournament.
We'll be going home because we're knocked out first. Yeah, we've rocked up in Brazil kits and lost 7-0. Right,
this could pass as a Yoga Bonito.
it could work. Yeah.
They just put we Brazil flag over that.
Right. So the top line of this is going to be they've been the top goal scorer in a division. So I might need to fact check some of these. But I've made sure they all work. And they wouldn't have to do it like, these don't obviously need to combine. So as long as they've been a top scorer at one point in their career, it doesn't need to be the same club that's listed, as long as they play for that club, if you know what I mean.
Lovely stuff.
So if I put Manchester United, they wouldn't have to be playing for Manchester United. You could say Ronaldo being top scorer of Real Madrid, for example.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Along the top line, top scorer, played for Greenock Morton and English.
Okay.
And going across the other way, they've played for Celtic, Dunfermline, and they played in the SPFL League 2.
Can I say the word, please, John?
You can do. So who's going first?
God, this is
tough.
Can I? Yeah, it would be good. So it is me to go first.
Yeah.
Morton and Pars.
Put that down to you.
This is actually quite a tricky board.
That's not the words.
Yeah.
It's Cowshed.
Yeah.
Let's just. This is a bit of a cop out, but I'm gonna buy myself some time with other ones. I'm gonna go Celtic and England, and I'll go for Gary Hooper.
Good shout.
I like it.
Good plan. There was quite a lot for that one. That was quite an easy one.
Yeah, that was.
I'm going to go for Celtic and Morton. I'm going to go with Aidan Nisbet.
Yep, good shout, good shout.
Interesting. I will.
That's just not how it works. I accidentally draw two X's in a row there for our audio listeners. So you're going to need to negate this one out, top left.
Where's Unotu from?
Well, you don't need to actually. I do apologise.
Where's Unotu?
If you're locking it in, then that's your guess, and I'll fact check it for you. But
no, top scorer in League 2, Alan Troughton.
oh, yeah, the season's ended, so I'll give it to you.
No, bro.
Oh my goodness, I'm doing really
It's
bad.
all over the place.
I've got the easy job, here, don't I? The middle's needed here.
Greenock Morton. Morton and Pars, I think.
Oh, sure, yeah. Oh,
No.
Owen Moffat?
Yes, that's
Phenomenal shout.
very good pull. That was actually where I was thinking about when I put that.
Oh, really?
So.
That is a phenomenal.
Actually, no, I was thinking him because he Celtic as well.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Celtic Morton,
We
Pars
take that.
Morton.
We take those.
As you should do, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
Smashed it.
Cheers, lad.
This could be tricky. This could be very tricky, but I'm going to take a shot in the dark here. I know he's played lower league football, but he might have made the jump and missed out League 2. I'm going to go Cammy Ballantyne.
For Morton.
Morton in League 2.
It'll be fact checked. Cammy Ballantyne. Oh, I think you may be in luck. Yeah. Montrose. Yeah.
Nothing lucky about it.
No, but for League 2.
Yeah, Montrose. Yeah, in League 2.
No, they're in League 1,
No,
At the time.
At the
he was
time.
playing.
Oh, okay.
Good try, though. Good try.
Sorry.
what are you?
Come again.
Oh.
You're an X.
That's a tricky one. You're going to have to pluck it.
League 2 and England.
Yeah. It shouldn't be that tricky, but I can't. There's
It's
nothing
not-
jumping out to
It's
me.
not that tricky. Well, maybe it is, sorry. I don't know why I'm saying that. Yep, so Luke, you're going to need League 2 in English here to prevent Fraz from potentially getting a win.
League 2 in England. I think.
Oh, my.
Any Englishman to have played in Scottish League 2, guys. Any Englishman. Any player to play in League 2. That's English.
That's Callum.
Yeah. If you can't get it, you move elsewhere. So this should just be a circle. Right.
My word.
You're going to have a timer start pretty soon.
Good golly.
Luke's digging deep here. Right.
Oh, there we go. Top scorer Celtic.
Oh, okay, you moved up here.
Yeah. I'll just go with my either.
Has he been the top scorer in the division before, actually? I was thinking, is he leading the ranks this season?
Yeah, I'm sure it is actually.
But that's not going to cut the jib.
That's embarrassing if you get Celtic a top scorer wrong.
Ooh, wow, he scored 23 goals in 36 games for Yokohama Marinos in the 2021-22 season, which I'm going to presume is top scorer. Let me check.
Presume.
I'm getting nervous, but I'm starting to get a bit shaky, you know what I mean? Why? Sorry.
No, keep talking, please. Yep. Luke, you are correct.
Oh, you.
Because that's exactly what he meant. He knew what it was. The J-League top scorer.
Best league in the world.
It's a good league. Quality league.
Love the Japanese football.
And you're kind of getting it in a bit of formality as, famously, Daiser Maeda scored 23 goals in 2021 in the J-League, which was the same amount as Leandro Damião, 23. So joint top scorer.
Hold on. Who had more assists? Who took
They're both
doesn't
down
matter.
as top scorer. So look, you do get it in the end.
Come on.
Fraser,
Okay, well.
you could sweep this one up here with...
Parsons' top scorer then is irrelevant to me.
I think you should go for it now.
So, I'm going to need to get League 2 in England at some point.
Yep.
And I'm going to hope to God that Nat Wedderburn has an English passport.
An English passport, I don't know that's the
No, I'm
thing.
joking.
But he does have in English everything else, so you are correct.
Yes, get
Yeah,
in there.
Big Nat. Who I thought you would have got.
Can I talk you through the board, the rest of it?
Please, yeah.
I'm interested to know if Ewan Otto is English
I'm not sure if he is.
or Scottish.
He might be. I thought he was
Or-
Scottish, but I might just be. Ewan Otto is Scottish, aye. From Glasgow. I thought he
Oh,
was.
that's good,
I'm not sure why.
Hello,
he-
mate.
I don't know why that came from.
I don't know, I just thought.
What was that, a Glasgow accent?
Andy.
He is from Glasgow.
That looks just
Top scorer in pars, Stevie Crawford.
Yeah, Kevin Nisbet.
Kevin is.
Solid.
Replied.
Respect to all.
Quite a few shouts.
You got any pars in England shouts?
Top scorer Celtic, you went really risky for no reason. You could have had a host of players. Gary Hooper, Chris Commons is down.
Gary Hooper appearing twice in this board.
Lee Griffiths, Henrik Larsson, you could have said, but no, you went Daiser Maeda, famously the top scorer in the J-League in 2021. So, respect.
My goat.
Episode 14 then. It's in the books. A big week, the playoffs coming up, so we'll obviously see how all these games go, see if our predictions are flying. Come back next week, look at those, maybe look ahead to the finals of those as well. You boys buzzing for it all?
Can't wait.
Fraser, you confident?
Nope.
Nope. No, you shouldn't be. That's the best way to be.
Excited? Yes. Confident? No.
Well, I'd much rather you're off to Stars Park for the first leg tonight, but when this goes out. But unfortunately not, so looking forward to it either way. We'll watch them all. We'll see the action, take it in. But lads, otherwise it's been a pleasure once again.
Joga Bonito.
Ish finito.
Don't go changing.